Bonus session. So listen, I wanted to talk to you about a couple things. First of all, I remember my season, we had a similar thing where the kitchen was locked up. We had to order out. And Nikki G from my season, oh, it was so hilarious. Nikki G ordered like $400 a night of sushi. Oh my goodness. The producers were not happy about that. This was season 2. There were no limits. You know, we didn't know what the heck we were doing. The little production assistants let us order it. I had never tried sushi, you know, I'm from the hood. You know, we just didn't have raw fish just floating around, you know, or, you know, sushi places. So anyway, $400 a night worth of sushi. And so I tried everything. I can remember one time, you know, I came and there's this table full of stuff and I dig down into this green stuff and put it on my tongue. And just as I'm putting on my tongue, everybody screams, "No!" But it was too late. Put this wasabi in my mouth and literally felt like I was on fire. Oh my goodness. First time I'd ever had it, and by the way, the last time. You know, so it's interesting the stuff that happens behind the scenes. The other thing is, when you're out to dinner, we went through the same thing my season, and we actually went to the Cheesecake Factory, and Jillian talked about her experiences, you know, and how, because Jillian eats out a lot, in case you didn't know it. You may not have known that. So she's got tons and tons and tons of experience with it, and she taught us how to eat at the Cheesecake Factory. And here's one of the things I remember the most. Willpower is greatly, greatly overrated. Willpower is overrated. It's not like you're going to put, you know, a big old slab of ribs and a big piece of cheesecake there and not eat it. So what you have to do is be proactive. You have to be a pain in the neck to the waiters or to the servers. You know, we've got somebody here, one of the ladies who goes to my church, we call her Mama Jackie. She is such a pain to the waiters that she bothers us when she orders. But when you're worried about your weight and you're concerned about getting down to a good weight, you are going to be that person. You're going to be a pain because you're going to ask for your food not to have any extra oil, and you're going to ask for your vegetables to be steamed. You're going to ask for all these other, you're going to tell them, "Oh, thanks for bringing the bread out, but please take it away, and take the chips away." You're going to do all of this stuff, and then you'll be surprised. The servers even look at you differently. You know, when I order and I have all these specific specifications, at the end of the night, the waiter or the server just brings the bill. They say, "I didn't even bring a dessert menu. I didn't think you wanted one." So think about that. Other people begin to look at you. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about as I was on my weight loss journey. Because of the way that I ordered food, they could tell that I was making a change, and it affected even the servers. That's a very interesting feeling. And so now, I like the fact we're talking about the last chance workout. I don't like the last chance workout. I don't like Bob and Jillian not being there at the same time and in competition. I gotta tell you, Jillian is focused on one or two folks, and she, is talking through them and working with them, and Bob is working in the big group. Now, it's amazing that they're able to do what they do, but I prefer to see Bob and Jillian each grabbing a smaller group of people and pounding them to death. I'm not really a fan of this whole group training thing. You know what I mean? It's just me. Also, the pain that Mo experienced. There's a couple things with that I teach. When you experience pain, you have got to do one of three things. You've got to wrap it up, work around it, or work through it. I could say a fourth thing, which is quit, but your goal is not to quit. Also, when you have a true injury and you have to go to your doctor, you have to talk to your doctor about the injury. One of the things that you want to do is ask your doctor, what else can I do? The first thing the doctor is going to do is put you on complete and total restriction. And so what you want to do is be proactive with the doctor and make the doctor use that medical degree. What else can I do? Doc, I'm on this weight loss program. What else can I do? Because there's always something you can do. And speaking of doing something, do you really think that Tracy did nothing that entire week? All day on the ranch, she's got nothing to do but work out and film. Do you really think she did no working out at all? Do you really think that? Okay, anyway, we'll leave that alone. And then lastly, one of the interesting things, I've said this before, you can always tell who's going home in the actual elimination room by whoever's sitting on the end. They have to have a clear exit out, so whoever's on the end, unfortunately, is a giveaway. It's a tell if you're into poker and all of that. But the other thing I thought was unique, or something that I picked up on, is Allison asking questions. She can see, for instance, she asked Alan a question. She could see as he turned over his plate, and revealed who they were sending home. She could see that he was really getting emotional. Allison, being the professional that she is, she starts asking him questions. And so that draws that emotion out of the contestants. And so it's really interesting. It's the sign of a good host, but it's also part of the show. You want to see what the contestants, you know, their reasoning for doing stuff. And this is such an emotional show, and there's so much drama in there. You know, I really, you know, I applaud her, but I also want you to notice that, you know, that she is getting to the deeper reasoning behind the votes. So just a little behind the scenes for you this week. Have a great week. Remember, there's a winner within you. We'll talk to you later. This is Pete Thomas.